Everyone deserves a safe, secure and affordable home. But the Victorian Labor government is planning to demolish all 44 public housing towers across the state and sell off the land to private developers for mostly private housing. This will force 10,000 people out of their homes, tear communities apart, and make the housing crisis worse for everybody. There's already 120,000 people on the public housing waiting list, and more people are facing housing stress and homelessness.
We're here today to save these towers, these homes and communities from demolition, and to protect our community from privatisation, because that's what Labor in Victoria wants to do to public housing. Today might be the first action at an estate that Labor wants to demolish, but it's not going to be our last action. So remember this moment, everyone.
I was born and raised in 33 Alfred Street, and I know the community very well, and the community knows me very well since I was a kid. We know each other. I'm very disappointed what the government said in terms of demolishing our building. I don't know where I'm going to go. The rents are very expensive these days, so I don't know where I'm going to live or stay.
In a housing crisis, we should be building more public housing, not demolishing what we already have. And what will be built here will not be public housing. It will be mostly private, expensive apartments and a handful of community homes. Economists, architects, planners and housing experts all agree that Labor's plan to demolish public housing will be disastrous. And once we sell off this public land to private developers, we'll never get it back again.
I found public housing to be secure because you can still pay 25% of your income and be able to maintain a roof on top of your head, you know. It's a security net for me. I've come across a lot of beautiful neighbours who welcomed me, make me feel like a sense of belonging, and pointed out, there's a community for single moms to gather around and socialise, let the kids play together.
Public housing is permanent housing. Long-term, fixed tenure, so you can build a life in your home. It's got fixed rent, 25% of your income, and your rights are protected by law, and they have been for decades on end. What they intend to replace public housing with is community housing, which we know has higher rents, which has less protections, and what we're hearing is much shorter leases. Community housing was never meant to replace public housing, but that's what this government intends to do as they outsource their responsibility for providing public housing and completely retreat from their responsibility to make sure everyone has a safe, secure, affordable place to call home.
The Greens want to upgrade existing public housing, keep public land in public hands and build more public housing. We've spoken with thousands of residents who say that they want to stay in their homes and keep their communities together. Some people have lived their whole lives here. Others have come here fleeing war, seeking and finding safety in these communities.
This government refuses to consult with the community properly. They are treating public housing residents and the broader community with absolute contempt right now. Public housing residents have rights. You have a voice. We're all here to ensure that your voice can be heard, that we can amplify your voice at every single opportunity. We are going to stand with you every step of the way. And we're going to say you can't demolish it on our watch. You're not going to demolish these buildings on our watch, everyone.
The Greens believe that housing is a human right. We are supporting residents who are rising up to stop Labor from demolishing and privatising their homes.
But the biggest fear is losing the foundation of the system of public housing, right? So today we're talking about towers, tomorrow we're talking about houses in the suburbs. That's right. Because this government's not going to stop.
The most probably distressing about the community housing, it's only 3 years lease. So every 3 years, after 3 years, you cannot guarantee that you might have a place to live. So the security of tenure is not there. Like we have in public housing, we signed a lease, it's for life. Whereas in the community housing, every 3 years, and it's a ballot system, as you said, you have to be a model or whatever, or you out to the street. So it will be a disaster for people. This will add to homelessness more. It will not solve the problem. This will add more to homelessness.
All the PR language cannot hide the fact that they are about to embark on the biggest program of privatisation of public housing this state has ever seen. At every single opportunity, we have not let a week go by when we haven't asked the Minister for Housing directly, or the Premier, or the other ministers who are responsible for this plan, to justify their plans. They have continuously ducked, weaved and avoided every single question we have put to them. Not a single document to justify the plan. No evidence to justify, no feasibility studies, no evidence, nothing to date.
We've stopped governments from demolishing public housing before, and we can do it again. Across Melbourne, residents are organising and resisting and taking the government to court. Residents are going to fight this, and we are right there with them. But it's going to take everyone to stop this disastrous project, and we need you too. So get involved. Together we've saved public housing, and we can do it again.